trail a little bit because I saw something from a distance that looked too man-made to not be. And I think that this is some kind of a rough enclosure of a cave, so we'll go take a look. Certainly it looks to be just that. See that there's just enough room for a sleeping bag or two. Maybe 2 people could fit in here. Be a fun way to spend the night. And not far away to the right, another rough little dwelling, remnant. What this was for and who built it, I don't know. There's one, quite simply built, just using a fallen log as a ridgepole. Did modern fishermen use it? Don't know of hunters at all, but it would have made a nice little camp. Directly above that I noticed something. It looks like one of those disease joints or balls, but this one's interesting because it has yellow growths on the outside of it, like little ping pong balls. Are they an outgrowth of the growth itself, or something that critters have attached? Could they be egg pods or eggs themselves? Here a pretty little stream gurgles just loud enough to be heard along with the crashing waves, and has just enough strength to get through this quagmire of fallen timber above it. And here we get a closer look at what I think are polyps that grow on the outside. In fact, if you look at that surface of the older part, it looks like it may be dark remnants of these spheres. Now it may be that these spheres contain spores, and that when they dry out, the spores, of course, escape and blow away, and then the surface dries up to what you see. Reminds me of dandelions, but the leaves and stalks remind me of carrots for some reason. Well, maybe it's in the dandelion family, and because those are the kind of seed balls from which the seeds get airborne. And now back through the trail of rocks. Another interesting visual experience. These yellow posts are the trail markers. You wonder if all this area was familiar to the Yamana people. Here the trail gladly hooks to the left. If anybody's ever lived in that cave-like structure. Was there ever a time when there were beasts here? I'm going to HITO 24, which is the border of Argentina and Chile. But when I come back off the cruise, I will go to Monaco, trail to the right. difficult 4 hours. I think that's one way, and that's to the top. There's a halfway position that you can go to also. That's a smart warning. I have never seen such a warning, but it's a smart one. The end of my hike, lots of sun and a very pretty day. Very lovely park. Probably many people from Buenos Aires. They're just an interesting copse of trees. Notice this tree seems to spring almost horizontally out of that mound in the ground. Here, an ancient monarch that's fallen. And there, still standing one, but pretty worse for wear. You wonder if that's a woodpecker hole or just a hole that's created when a limb fell off at some point. If it's a woodpecker hole, it would certainly be the Magellan to be that large. Similar, but without the spines, apparently. Tell me if this scene is not straight out of Lord of the Rings. The trees are holding a council in a circle, if you take note. Some a long, long time ago, but others, like that one, you can still see the growth of leaves on the ends. A variation on the theme. Look closely at this moss or lichen, how big its leaves are. Imagine the eons of time and weather that these trees have experienced. This one having been here so long, laying over that one, it's actually curving down. Little view of the room at the Hotel Albatros, or Albatross, our pre-expedition Antarctic room. Very nice. Okay, the taxi has just driven me to the end of the road here on the east end of Ushuaia. Ushuaia is over there, as you can see. And I'll just pan around. I'm going to hike behind me, going down the Beagle Channel, which we'll of course follow tomorrow morning in the boat, but just a hike for a while. Then I'll turn around and hike quite a distance back, a couple miles at least, to where I can get a bus, if I can't con a car into driving me, back towards town. Gives a little hint of the spectacular mountains that go back many miles. And we're probably looking at Chile now. Imagine the whaling boats, the sealing boats, and of course most dramatically, I believe, the boats of the explorers like Ross and Scott, Shackleton, some of whom left from here. So it's 8:45, and I'll walk along a trail that goes right along the side of the cliffs there for probably an hour, and then I'll start back. Hopefully we'll have it all to ourselves. This is a protected area, so it should be quite a lovely hike. A lovely scene, a bower of big trees.